We're gonna be seeing a lot of dead soldiers on this stage. Evidently, Righteous Strike isn't exactly as righteous as we might have believed. I did say that it was a suicide attack, essentially. And if we're good about our tether, we can get a bunch more Cyber Elves, too. Eston! At least it isn't the Estonle Parryable. The Parryable? Parryable. Yes, it's very parryable. Make sure to reflect it. Let's see. Okay, bunch of swag in here. Good to par. Oh, come on. How are you able to survive the spikes when I die in a single hit? Rude. Cyber Elf re-ref. B-Bite. Okay, nothing up there. I forget if this brick is usable for something. I think it is. Never mind. It's just another brick. So far, so good. And already a boss. Huh, that was short. This should look familiar, too. If I remember correctly, the quote-unquote boss of this particular stage is, like, all three of these robots that we've seen before. Ow. So that's one. That robot's not an animal. Yeah, exactly. That means we can go full power on it. And if I remember correctly, they also have elemental weaknesses? So I think this one's weak to electricity. We'll see. Whee! Pew. Yep, weak to electricity. Big time weak to electricity. But of course, since the hitbox on these things is so specific, I just use the basic weapon. Pew. And a bullet for good measure. Round 3. Against the fire variant of this. Or, sorry, the ice variant of this, so use fire. We were born with nothing else, and we sure as hell have nothing now. These are the things we lost to the copyright strikes. There we go. Supreme Warrior. And yet, I'm a dick rank. Blood! El Piso got thrashed.
Why are you so late, Zero? I was so bored, we had to retire all the resistance soldiers to pass the time. All that remains is only this inferior ex-Neo Arcadia citizen.
Zero. I've been waiting for you too long. They were too weak to have fun with. I wanted to face you. Why don't we have fun together? Stop. What? Did you come to rescue this Reploid, Zero? Yeah. Why do you bother? Even if you help him, he won't thank you. And, if he lives, even more Resistance soldiers are going to perish. I'll save this Reploid, and I won't let any more Resistance soldiers perish. How greedy. But can you really do that by yourself?
Oh, can you hear it? A bombardment aircraft is heading for your base with a special bomb.
Using bombs ain't my style, but all's fair in love and war. The Resistance forces have made a mistake that can't be forgiven. Neo Arcadia, or should I say, human society, is not a thing Reploids can rebel against. If they do, they'll be exterminated. Operator, transfer us back to the base. Zero. I don't think justice is destroying Resistance forces, but as long as they try to disobey humans, destroying them is my goal. Hello, Daniel! Hope you're doing well.
Pew.
Estimated time of arrival, 10 minutes. I'll take care of it. Ready a shuttle. Roger. Zero will intercept. Preparing an aircraft.
I'm coming with you, Zero.
It's carrying a special bomb. I don't think you could just destroy it. You must neutralize it before you can destroy it. It's too dangerous, CL. You can act brave, but you shouldn't be reckless. You don't have any other choice. Use a portable transfer server. I'll let you know when. Oh, this is the sick music. Whee! Hope you like finicky platforming, because this second stage is going to be rife with it. There are a lot of aircrafts that are somewhat decently sized platforms that we need to use to traverse the area. There are very few instances where I would recommend the shield boomerang. This is one of them. Specifically because we're going to be finding a lot of bullets being spewed in various directions. And even from the ships that we're using as platforms. The shield boomerang can specifically reflect those bullets. Case in point. And I think I can make that jump. Ow. Double ow. Now, something else I do get to talk about. Within Mega Man 1, the shield boomerang was a little tricky to level up, specifically because reflected bullets didn't count against its XP. Only fully charged shots did. In 2, that changes. So it can actually use reflected shots to gain XP. And there's a ship down here. If I remember correctly, there is a secret swag collectible somewhere around this... Lord! Pretend that never happened. Pretend that never happened. Pretend that never happened. Try again. This time with a bit more pathos. Whoop. Oh, I hate everything. Wait. Don't get impatient, me. Much better. Stupid fastball special. Good jump. Good jump. Good jump. If I remember correctly, I don't think you can grapple onto these ships. Yep, you can't. So, when traversing the stage, bear that in mind. Be very careful. You cannot grip these ships. That wasn't worth it. I thought there was more than just an HP pickup there. Alright, boss time. We actually have to fight one of these ships. And it's got a few different attacks at its disposal, too, that are pretty devastating. Ow. Done. So far, so good. Down into the passage. Get a few extra crystals. Okay, this specific section of the stage, we're going to be dealing a lot with batteries. After a point, these batteries will recover, and once that happens, the electricity barriers that go down as a result of them being destroyed will come back up. There are bits of swag that you can get by keeping those barriers off. Good luck trying to get them. They're pretty difficult to get. Nice. And the recoil rod is fully charged. Or, chain rod. If you can manage to get up here, you get a 1-up. And on top of that... Yet another one of these things. Which, I think, if I remember correctly, this guy is weak to ice? I might be misremembering. Yep, ice. Easy. We also get a Cyber Elf. Petan. And a lot of death! When I first played this game, I ended up playing with button setup that switched weapons via a button. Oh, wow. You're a lot braver than me. I prefer having it be a trigger. I'm very active when it comes to fighting, so having to hold down 2 buttons, it's a little too taxing for my head. For me, it's simpler to have each weapon set to a button. Yep, that would be button layout 3. You're right on that one. There we go. Oh, this boss stays dead. Good to know. Whee! Slowly inch my way down. Wrong side. Better. Oh, right, these things. We never did encounter these types of enemies in any other pathway, so now is as good a time as any to introduce them. These guys, they have a mace ball. They fling it at you. It hurts a lot. But you can interrupt them by specifically tethering their shield and destroying it. I like messing around with these guys a little bit. Oh. Wait. Okay, Buster, help me. I said, Buster, help me. Thank you. Freeze that. If I remember correctly, there is an extra pickup up there. I'm not gonna bother. Because I would rather get on with the boss. Because the boss of this area is pretty frustrating. I set the transfer coordinates. Transfer CL here.
I'll release the bomb. The device is, here. I need 90 seconds to release the fuse. Provide cover for me.
We have to defend CL. That could be an easy and also a hard mission. Again, Shield Boomerang does a lot. This is one of the few instances where I'd recommend its use. Because a whole lot of the enemies around here do throw out shots. So being able to reflect those shots at an instant is pretty handy. Alternatively, absorb those shots. Every time CL takes damage, if I remember correctly, the timer does uptick. If not, then Zero himself takes damage, to a point.
I finished about half of my analysis.
Ah. And case in point right there, you will have probably seen the evidence. I wasn't paying attention. If I remember correctly, if you can do this entire sequence without CL getting hit, then you do get a form out of it. I might be misremembering.
Maybe I'll be done shortly. Alright, the fuse has been released.
Position secured. Transfer commencing. You will need to destroy all of the enemies once the timer ticks down to 0. Just on notice. CL, you go on ahead.
Alright, you follow behind me. It's an emergency, Zero. Due to air turbulence, the transfer won't work. The storage of the aircraft is broken. Escape from there.
Don't worry. If you're worried that we might have a time limit or anything like that, we don't. But I believe there's also one more boss? I might be misremembering. I do know there's a Cyber Elf up here. And if you're ever hurting for HP or other pickups, these long boxes have a lot of pickups in them. They might be useful. Yeep. Come on.
Jump off. Our aircraft is on standby and ready to pick you up.
Charge up those weapons, because we've got a boss fight. If you've played the original Mega Man Zero, you know this boss. Kind of. Because if I remember correctly, they were a boss in there. They hurt a lot, and if you're not careful, they can absolutely wreck you. Don't get caught up by this whirlwind. If he grips you, then you are going to get slammed, and it hurts for a lot of damage! Let go of me, you mother! Oh! Oh! As you can see... Come off it, you! Oh, come on! Good. Pew. Now that line should be especially familiar. Brother, I failed you. Technically, we didn't fight this specific robot in 01. We fought their brother. And Erase form is available now. The Erase form is kinda eh. It essentially allows you to erase specific bullets using the saber. I was an errand boy in Neo Arcadia. When I came here, they assigned me as a commander, and I failed everyone. I was such a fool. This is all because I didn't have the power. I want to be strong. All-powerful. The most powerful Riploid ever. I will destroy Neo Arcadia. And the humans. Then, I'll be a true hero. We may be able to track down the history of the trans server El Piso used. Do we have to help him? From now on till the rest of the game, CL moves up to mission control. So if you ever need to do anything with Cyber Elves, this is where you do it now. 2 continues, and 2 sub-tanks. Let's see. Process Cyber Elf. Download. Take you, and I believe I can take an A rank just to capture a skill, because why not? Process data, save. And our second set of Robot Masters. 3 of them will look familiar. And I think I want to fight... Oh, you're annoying. I already have an ice chip. Let's go after Harpooya. 3 of these 4 Robot Masters are the commanders of Neo Arcadia. And they're also bosses that we fight within 0-1 when we get around to that. They are dangerous. But the reason why this specific stage is interesting is because of its unique gimmick. Spikes! The unique gimmick is spikes! A wonderful gimmick!
Yeah!
Ow. No, actually, the gimmick is a little further along than this. If I remember correctly, it starts being relevant around halfway through the stage. And... if I'm remembering correctly, yep, there is a Cyber Elf up there. If you're really good about gimmicking with wall jumping, you could probably get there, but ideally, you want to use the Lame Rod. Crap. This is what happens when you have sweaty hands. Knees weak, arms heavy. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous about his wall jumps. One of these days I'll get it. You know what? You know what? Hold on, hold on. Me? Few things that you need to take care of. 1, it's fucking warm. Why am I under covers when it's like 70 degrees? Oh. 2. Switch around the main sub. I'm a little more comfortable with using the grappling dick on the shoulder anyway. He says as he fumbles the grappling dick. Well, what else would you call it? It extends! It retracts! It's got a very pointy tip! Am I wrong? You know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna bother with that thing. It's a pain in the ass anyway. I have a show to run. Fuck you, game. Fuck you? There we go. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. It's a very smelly horse. We were gonna bring it to the factory to make some glue out of it. But of course, it just had to be a unicorn. Gah! Had to be a special little snowflake. Good for you. Ow! It's fine. Huh. Right, I forgot how finicky this part of the stage is. Have I mentioned that this game expects you to be really good at using the chain rod when it's kind of a hard weapon to use? At the best of times, I should say. Whew. Better. That's how you got that Cyber Elf. Now, how this part of the stage works is there are a whole bunch of platforms that exist around here, right? You can only see some of them some of the time. But on the bright side, the game has a sort of foresight in place. You can usually do this one of two different means. In the first means, you tick down a whole bunch of enemies and then watch as their drops hit the ground and reveal where platforms and whatnot are. Alternatively, every time you hit the device in the, Ah! Okay, enough panicking me. Every time you hit the device in the corner, then you gain a few moments where you can see the next set of platforms. These platforms still exist, and in some cases you may be able to see them prematurely. Not all the time. Heap. Oh, come now. Cyber Elf, to me. Thank you.